Hey everyone, I wanted to make a quick video talking about Bear's 2-1 and the extensions that could come out of this jab string. Because as Bear's 10 frame punish and a fairly important tool for Bears in neutral, I think this is something that anybody going into this matchup should know about and know the threats that can come from this string. Because it's something that if you're not very familiar with the matchup, you're definitely going to get tested on at least once. This string, the first hit can be sidestep to the left and also sidestep to the right, and the second hit is a mid. I've got the recording actually set to do a forward 1 jab into 2-1, so it's +1 into a 10 frame. You see that that string there is the 2-1. Second hit being a mid, it can track to the left if you try to sidestep left, but you can do sidestep left block in a situation like this and block it. Let me get the recording a bit better. There we go. And if I sidewalk right, I'm going to beat both buttons completely. And so going into the other extensions that can come from this string, the 2-1-3 here, the last hit, let me just go ahead and record down back 3 alone. It looks very similar to down back 3, except as you see in the first recording here, it's -2 on hit, and it's also not natural. So you can just block it and it's -13. You can obviously parry the low. You can't low parry on hit, but if somebody tries to do this, you just block it and punish. Although that's going to be something that you have to catch on to player tendencies and see if they're going to go for that low as an extra little bit of damage. Now, something that I do fairly commonly, if I know that somebody knows that it's minus on hit, I'll go for a bear back 1. Actually, here, let me go ahead and talk about the down back 3. That's not the right recording. Down back 3 is one of Bear's more important lows, and it is +3 on hit, and it's actually safe on block. I think it's -9, -8. Granted, for some characters, that'll set up for a pretty good situation, but still, the frame data, albeit the animation looking the same as the 2-1-3, the third hit of it, it's different frame data, and so you can pressure off of this with something like a down forward 4, and that's going to beat things like jabs or crouch jabs or something like that. You can't do this off of 2-1-3. But if you do something like 2-1-3 into back 1, that could be a fairly common way to steal a turn. Although, if you know that it's -13, you can just beat back 1 and back 1, 3+4, which is -15, but in a hunting stance with your 13 frame mid punish. Now let me go ahead and clear a couple of these recordings. This should be the 2-1-3 again. Right. Bears also have 2-1-2 that comes out of the 2-1 string. This is -14, and obviously at this point, a decent amount of characters can launch Bears for this. The thing that differentiates this from Jack 2-1-2 is that, depending on the character, now I know that Zafina can, and I'm not sure about Elisa, Lily, Negan, some of these other characters with really good steps, but unlike Jack 2-1-2, you can't very well sidestep this third hit to the right. You're going to get clipped. You can try a sidestep block, and I mean, it's not really going to be as good as just blocking if you expect them to do the third hit. But just get a launch, or get whatever your punish is against that. I can't exactly remember what this last recording is. What was this? Oh, I don't know what that was for. The 2-1-2, you can't sidestep it to the right like you can with Jack 2-1-2. But it is more unsafe, so if somebody's taking that risk, it's gonna beat any sort of button that you try to do. Actually, before I change, let me check for sure if that even beats armor. Not 100%. Well, maybe my input's wrong. Regardless, you don't want to try to mash there if you know that they're gonna do the 2-1-2. Just block and take your punish. Now, let me go over to Jack to show stuff with his 2-1 and 2-1-2. I believe that his still has similar tracking. You can sidewalk right the 2-1, but for Jack's 2-1-2, this string is only -12, and you can sidestep it to the right. Now, the difference here being Jack doesn't have a low, similar to Bear's 2-1-3, that he can use as a pseudo mix-up, even though obviously the low doesn't get any sort of pressure afterward, unless it's something like a back 1 from Bears. So you don't have to worry about anything like that here, but it is still going to catch people trying to press buttons in neutral. So I just wanted to make a quick video to go over this because I think that it's something that's fairly similar in both the Bears and Jack matchup, and I know that Bears is still a matchup that people don't have a ton of experience with, so anything I can do to give a bit more information about that, I'm always happy to. So hope this video helped, and thank you all for watching.